Hey crafty friends, it's Rick. I'm back with another video. Today we are going to make a card using the We Fly stamp set from CC Designs. I'm featuring their products today. I've already stamped out my images. I've stamped them on some Bristol Smooth cardstock using VersaFine Clear ink. And we're going to make a top folding slimline card today. So we're going to go ahead and get started with our coloring. So I've got my blender pen. I've got my markers. I need a little palette that I can pull color from. Just like that. So I'm going to lay in the color first. And I am using a limited palette of the colors I actually have in the studios. My other Karin brush markers are actually in the house. So I'm going to blend that out. I've laid in the color in the darkest area, and I'll just simply blend it out to where I want it to be the lightest. Same way I do my watercolors. So we're going to do this side over here of her little face. And yes, you know, I always have to do a card for the Halloween card series that features the Sanderson sisters, because it is like my favorite movie ever during Halloween. So we had to get the stamp set. Actually, I got the entire, there's 3 more stamp sets that feature the characters from this. So, of course, Rick had to get them all. It took me a little while because some of them were out of stock. I believe the sister stamp set is out of stock now. At the time of filming, I know the Bink set and the Billy set was still available and was in stock, and as well as the We Fly stamp set. That's one of the reasons I picked it, because it was available at the time. So we'll go ahead and do her outfit. You do have to kind of pay attention of where things are drawn, because certain things are laid in to be a certain color. So we will be careful and go around that. Now, if you want to add more color, you can drop in a little bit while it's still wet with that blender pen. But once it starts to dry, you're going to want to let that dry completely before you add more color. And to clean your pens off, you just have to scribble it clean onto a scrap piece of paper. So we'll do this side over here. We'll do the top. I'm going to do her skirt now. And actually, after I just did that, I really remembered that her outfit was all the same color. That's okay. We will go with it. Besides, it's handmade, not Hallmark. It can be any color I want it to be. Right? Right. So we'll blend this out. Let's do the underneath. I'll pull that right there a little bit. Color her little shoes. And then I'm going to tap off a little bit of color so I can add a shadow underneath parts of her shirt. So I just need that to be a little bit lighter since my grays are not in here. But that'll work out just fine. Just like that. Let's do a little broom handle. Pull that out to the end there. Move this out of the way. I'm going to do the end of the broom. Here, and I'm also going to do that last part of her outfit. And I'm going to add a little touch of red on her hair. And then I'm going to use more of an orange color as well, so I can get the color that I really want. I can drop in a little bit more color to her hair. And I'm going to drop in just a tad bit more red to that. Just give it a little bit more pop and let that blend together. And then I'm going to scribble off some red on my paper. And I'm going to add just a little bit of red to her lips. And her little tongue. All right, I'm going to add some color. This is pale peach. I'm going to use for her skin. And be super careful. Kind of stay away from her teeth. So I don't want to pull that out anywhere. That red. So pull this out. If I need to pick up a little bit more color, I can. I forgot her hand over on the other side, y'all. All right, so there's that color. I'm going to cut this out, and I will be right back. All right, I've got everything fuzzy cut out. I'm going to go ahead and work on my background. And I'm going to start off by laying in the lightest color first. And I'm going to start off with Salty Ocean. And I'm going to put this right kind of in the center. I want that to be lightest. And then I'm going to start moving into my darker colors. This is Prize Ribbon. And I'm going to keep my blues more towards the center. Go back and forth between my colors to get that transition, just like we do all the time. We're going to switch over to a little Uncharted Mariner. Those to blend together. I'm going to add in just a little Villainous Potion. Blend right through there a little bit. I think it's getting time to clean the brushes a little bit. Now, my last color on both sides is going to be Black Soot. So I'm going to blend that in. So we'll do this side. And we will work these blends until we get them where we want them to be. For here. So I want this to look like the sky has just that center little glow. Like our witches are actually flying in the night sky. That's what I'm going for. Go. Remove this. All right, I'm going to spritz on a little bit of water to our panel so we can add a little bit of texture back there. I'll take a paper towel. Pull that off. Now I pulled in my Salvage Patina Distress Spritz. I'm going to give it a little bit of a spritz with this just so there's a little bit of sparkle on the panel. Just going to give it that subtle little shimmer in there also. Now, I went ahead and dried my panel so that I could go ahead and build up our card. Pull in my Misty. And I'm going to kind of place our little sisters where I think I want them to be. So I can kind of figure out placement for my sentiment. I think we're going to go more with sentiment that's going to fit right in there. Put it right there. I can move them out of the way. Take my Misty corner so I can get that nice and straight. It'd be easier to come from the top. that. Now I can move that and I don't have to worry about it. I'm going to stamp the sentiment in VersaFine Nocturne ink. So I'll move this out of the way for now. Okay, I've got my top folding slimline card base. I've got a piece of midnight black cardstock. Let's pull in the Tombow. I'm going to center that. Be careful with my background panel. I will add that. All right, let's add our images to our card. So I'm going to add liquid glue to the back of them. I'm trying to decide if I want to pop any up or not. And yes, I did stamp it once and then stamped it a second time in a different, because I messed up. So I'm just going to add some slivers of foam tape behind here. Peel those off. And nestle her right in there. We'll add foam tape behind Winifred. I'm going to put just a little piece behind that broom. Right there. I'll peel these backings off. I've still got to add my gel pen highlights and a couple embellishments as well. We're going to add Miss Winifred right over here. And I have some glow-in-the-dark stars and moons from Trinity Stamps. I'm going to use these on the card today as my embellishment. So I'm going to add a couple up here in this corner. Add a moon right there. We're going to add a couple stars back there. Add a couple stars down here through here. And then I'm going to trail off with a couple more down through the bottom. You can grab my gel pen. I'm going to brighten up their eyes. And I will come through and add my little highlights. I'm going to add some to her dress and her cloak. Definitely got to have some on their hair. On our brooms, quote unquote. I'm going to open this up and I'm going to add something to the inside. I'm going to add that sentiment to the inside as well. I'm going to add Winterford also. And I'm going to stamp this using Villainous Potion Oxide ink to the inside of the card to finish it off. Do my sentiment one more time. All right, my friends, there is a closer look at my card of our top folding slimline card. Here is a look at the inside. I hope that you like this video. If you do, you probably got another one coming up right over there. I'll see you over that video. Bye, guys. Stay crafty. Love you.